They don't need to
Right.
claim it every time. When we were testing it, they had to. He has
Alright,
a
I'm gonna
list.
keep my camera
Oh, he
here.
has a list. Oh, do I need to touch anything, Blanc, or should I just leave it? Because we thought that I had to like remove them every time. Or can I just let Thorough like deal with it? Oh, I shouldn't. All right, Thorough, if you have a problem, tell me and I'll just remove them. But
Alright, I'm
if you
recording
can do
everything.
it, I'll just leave it.
I'm gonna put it on 1440p. Oh shit. No, don't do that, don't do that.
All right, are we ready to start or no?
Yo, get me out of broadcast. I was gonna put a second view of it. Yeah. Like this. How's it look on the stream?
Oh, Lean, are you the one on the live stream?
Yeah. How's this
Oh,
look?
it's
No, I'm
good.
not on the live stream. I'm
Oh,
streaming in game
let me hide. Let me do
in the
hide
Discord.
or no name all. All right, I'm gonna remove the audience, so that way there's no like problem with chats.
Yeah.
All right, all of the electoral, or wait, Onzak, are we good to go? And Thorough, both of you for that matter.
You're good.
Okay, all of the candidates, raise your hand, or let me see if I can invite you. Here. Venom, Learned, Jake, and then whoever the PPC rep is. I need to invite you, raise your hand. Vike. Oh, invite to speak. All right, Vike, I invited you, and then once you're up here, I'll let you. Okay, good.
Okay.
All right,
Give
you
me a
guys
minute.
just don't speak until like you're called on. I'll explain the rest. All right. Let me set my thing to do not disturb so I can focus on this. All right. I guess we'll just start from here now. Welcome to the first electoral debate for Prime Minister elections in CRC. I don't know what to expect. This is probably not going to run perfectly, but we'll try. We'll see what happens. Only notice I have to say before we like get into the actual debate is obviously not every candidate is here, and you should take obviously this debate is here to help you grasp like a further view into all these candidates, but obviously we have the election channel in the Discord that you can go and refer to for everybody. So don't let this debate decide your vote. Just take it all with a grain of salt. Anyway, let's just get into the actual debate stuff because that's what we're all here for. All right. So the general rules of the debate is every candidate will have roughly 45, give or take, seconds to answer each question. It may go on a little more depending on, the actual answer or if they need to actually get it out. But if you end up just keep on going or you just pause and don't say anything, trying to think of what to say, I'm probably going to cut you off because I don't want this to drag on for too long. Not every question will involve rebuttal or argument, or debate, rather. I, as the moderator, will clarify when a question calls for actual debate and rebuttals. Candidates will be selected to answer questions at random. For this, I'm probably just gonna eeny, miny, moe you, because I don't have a wheel spinner to choose from. And let me see what else I have here. Yeah, that's it. So, without further ado, we're just gonna go ahead and get into a simple question. We'll probably go left to right to start off. Let's get this introduction started with every candidate. You'll have 60 seconds to deliver an opening statement. Who are you? What's your party? What's your ultimate goals? Tell us who you are. We're going to start with Venom Isaac.
Hello, people. My name is Venom Isaac L, and I am the leader of the Venom Bloodline Syndicate. We weren't going to run this election, and then we saw who the candidates were and realized that CRC needs some real leadership here. So we decided to run, and we'll be here representing the common person because we've had enough of the corruption and idiocy in our politics, and yeah, we need some real people in charge for once. So we'll be running, and we're here for you.
Is that all?
Yep.
Thank you, Venom. Also, if you guys finish before your timer runs up, which only for this question 60, it's going to be 45 seconds for the rest of them for time's sake. If you finish early, just say I yield or just signify that you're done speaking so we can continue. All right, our next candidate, Britannic, go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right.
You gonna go?
Hello. All right, there we go. Greetings, Canadian citizens and viewers across the world. As you know, I am Britannic, the leader of the Israeli-Canadian Alliance. For what I stand for is truly heartwarming, and it's critically important throughout the community. We engage relations with Israel. Obviously, our bond, it's built more than politics. It really goes down to the commitment to democratic values and human rights, and the unwavering belief in our nation's right to live with peace and security. Israel is obviously a beacon of innovation and resilience. Sorry. But what I stand for is more than just this political situation. Israel will be our friend. Israel is our friend. It's not the enemy. Whatever people say, we will come out on top. Thank you.
All right, interesting. Thank you, Britannic. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the next person to start their introduction, which is Vike representing Real Win. So go ahead, the Vike, and take it from here for the introductory.
Hello, fellow Canadians. I am Vike21, speaking on behalf of Real Win, who is the Prime Minister of the People's Party of Canada. The People's Party of Canada is here today to present a clear and uncompromising vision for our nation's capital. Ottawa must be more than just a political center. It must be a functioning parliament that truly represents the will of the people, not the interest of a political elite disconnected from ordinary citizens. We believe that the parliament must operate transparently and efficiently, restoring trust in our democratic institutions. This means holding elected officials accountable, cutting unnecessary bureaucracy, and ensuring that government remains limited in size but strong in its ability to serve Canadians. Equally important is the safety and security of Ottawa's residents. We cannot allow political instability, protests that spiral out of control, or weak enforcement of laws to undermine confidence in our capital city. We stand for law and order, for supporting our police services, and for creating an environment where citizens, families, and businesses can thrive without fear. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Vike. All right, and our last person to deliver the introduction is none other than LearnGed22. Take it from here, bud.
All right, hello, I'm LearnGed22. I represent the FMLN, and I'm here to empower the people of CRC, the people of Ottawa, right? We, for too long, have been oppressed by ridiculous rules and ridiculous updates that have just done nothing to actually engage community in any sort of meaningful long-term impact, right? We are here to stunt the oppression that the government has kind of done to the normal people of citizens of Ottawa. And that is what we stand for, and that's what we're going to fight for. We want transparency. We want the opinions of the community, and we want your voice to be heard and to be empowered. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, LearnGed. Now we're going to move on to some short directed questions. Each of these are specific to each person or party. This will just go over some small parts of your campaign to just clarify more towards the general public and the people who may vote you into office. So we're going to go in reverse order because it's just easier for me to do. So we're going to stay with LearnGed, and we're going to go ahead and ask LearnGed. There's been recent concerns around the citizens of Canada regarding FMLN's previous armed operations. How can the public trust the political party that has previously operated with militia and militarized aspects?
Right, as we said, we stand with the citizens, and actually all of our targeted armed conflicts were with the oppressive government agencies. For example, CSIS, we already know what CSIS has done. They've kidnapped people off the streets and dropped them off ledges. We know RCMP has a long-standing history of abuse and just rogue activities. These are the people that we've kind of clashed with over time. We've never tried to target any civilians or randomly kill anybody. We have an objective and we stick with it. Furthermore, if we are voted into politics, if we are voted into office, we will disband our armed wing. We will completely disband it. We will completely disband all of our conflicts, and we will work in a political sense only to deliver what we think the people deserve. That's all.
All right, thank you, LearnGed. The next directed question will be asked for Vikefire, which is a part of the PPC's campaign, which is to empower player-owned businesses. How can this become a reality, and how will these private businesses be regulated and overseen?
Yes. So how we are going to oversee and regulate these, we believe that by contacting community management in the businesses and pushing for development in order to support and allow private businesses, we should always to be put into Ottawa. What? Excuse me for that. Okay, so we believe. Yes. So by contacting and keep and staying engaged with the local businesses around us and making sure that they do a safe interaction with the community correctly, in order to trust a safe government and a safe business market that is, in this case, free from bureaucracy, we need some way to avoid businesses from committing certain crimes. Now, ways of doing this is to still keep in touch with the businesses, but not to limit them, but to see if they do anything that is criminal, anything that is immorally wrong. That is what we stand for.
All right.
And we also want to support.
No, that's time. All right. The next directed question will be towards Britannic, which is, let me find you. All right. In one of your campaign messages, you promised to give aid to departments. What kind of aid would this entail, and how exactly would this benefit the departments? Go ahead.
Yeah, so okay. Beautiful question. So the first thing I would do is I would take a flight to the Holy Land of Israel to meet with a dear friend of mine, Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu. From there, the department budgeting will be investigated by the Mossad to see what's really being spent on with our pure tax funds, see what's really going on. After that, department budgeting will be condensed and regulated. Tax rates will rise with the fact that, stupid stuff isn't being spent on useless departments. More departments that need the budgeting and spending will be provided. This will all be obviously verified by the Israeli media. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you. And finally, for Venom Isaac, previous to your appearance on this debate, there wasn't necessarily a whole lot posted and published in the elections channel in CRC. Do you have, at least up to this debate, has your campaign compiled any specific policy plans or issues that need to be resolved? What policy and action do you plan on taking as Prime Minister if you were to be elected?
Yeah, thank you. So, like I previously stated, originally we were just going to watch these elections until we saw who the candidates were and decided that CRC needed someone actually serious to vote for who will focus on this country. But some of the policies that we will be focusing on, obviously gun rights will be a big one for us, as well as a true and fair justice system is something we'll be focusing on a lot. I actually do have a manifesto that we will be releasing today that will go into details about all of our policies, what we believe in, and what we will do for the average working man within CRC. But I can assure you that our focus will be entirely on Ottawa and improving the lives of the people, not causing a mutiny or going to Israel. Thank you.
All right, thank you. That concludes our directed questions section, and now we will move into our actual debate questions. How this will work is, I'm making this up on the spot, by the way, because I guess this is our first time, all right? Next time we'll have more planning, but I'll start with a random person, and then either we'll just say when I cut the time, one of you, whoever wants to speak up first, or whoever, I don't know, how can they claim it? Whoever claims it first, or I don't know, we'll figure it out. If you want a rebuttal, just say you want to talk first. If you want to like counter their point, or just state it when it gets to your turn. It really, I don't know, we'll figure it out. Anyway, I'm not going to spin a wheel, so I'm just going to choose a random person. We're going to go straight down the middle in front of me, Britannic. We're going to start with you. With the ever so consistent high crime rates in Ottawa, what do you plan to do to curb, criminal activity? Go ahead.
Yeah, so obviously criminal activity is obviously brought down by the law enforcement and forces of Canada. So to battle this everlasting crime rate, I will be formally getting the IDF to deploy to Ottawa and take down these criminal organizations with the Mossad. I actually feel attacked, and there's anti-Semitic behavior in this podium, saying that I will not focus on Canada, while the party's called the Syndicate. Obviously the crime rates keep increasing, and that will obviously come to an end with my leadership under Mossad and the IDF working alongside CAF. Thank you.
All right, moving forward, we'll have it claim the podium. So are you all able to claim the podium? Whoever claims it next, you can answer the question next, if it works. Can any of you claim it? Yes or no? You can answer.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it seems that Learn Ged claimed it because his name came up,
Did that
so...
work?
Yeah, it did work. So Learn, you can go ahead and answer. Do you want me to repeat the question?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. With the ever so consistent high crime rates in Ottawa, what do you plan to do to curb criminal activity?
Well, I think a major thing about Ottawa specifically is that crime is a core function of Ottawa and within the community. To lower crime or to try to stop crime in general is like trying to stop the core function of it's kind of the reason why, a lot of people got engaged with the game in the first place. It's kind of one of the big points of Ottawa. And I feel like we shouldn't really be necessarily focusing on that point, because I feel like that would just slow down activity within the community, right? What's the point of playing Ottawa if there's no crime to fight against if you're RCMP? And what's the point of being a civilian if every single time you try to do a crime you immediately get arrested for 8 minutes? So there is no real reason, I feel like, to try to stop crime and or to slow crime rates.
Is that all?
Yep, that's all.
All right, thank you. All right, I'll remove learn get from the speaker. Whoever claims it next, if you can. All right, Vike just claimed it. So, Vike, do you want me to repeat the question for you too?
Yes.
All right.
Well, we plan on tackling this at its roots. Organized crime in Ottawa starts with the illegal trade of firearms in our nation, which has spiraled out of control. I believe the organized operations between the CAF, RCMP, and CSIS, we will be able to combat this with ease. Secondly, I believe that a high police presence in areas that tend to be targeted by crime, we can discourage criminal activity, making it easier for our law enforcement units to combat. And finally, through better training and funding, our departments can work together with improved tactics and policing strategies. To curb criminal activity, we will establish a government department, Public Safety Canada. This department will unite all law enforcement departments, CSIS, RCMP, CFMP, PPS, and CSC. We will also look towards tackling gun crime in Ottawa, such as bringing down illegal gun trades. An idea on how we can stop this. This is just a fraction of what we have in mind, but I believe that will take a while to talk about. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. All right. And I'll remove Vike. And the last person, Venom, would you like me to repeat the question or would you like to just answer?
Yeah, I'll just give a brief statement here. I hope the people watching heard what I heard. I mean, we had a former criminal advocate for crime. We had someone who's in bed with Israel offer to bring in a foreign military. And then we have a party who wants to abolish guns and have the most crazy gun control I've ever heard. I mean, I don't even know how we could vote for these other people with the civil liberties that will be lost under their regimes. You can't object. This isn't court, buddy. But honestly,
we did not say to abolish.
Excuse you. This is my time.
Right.
But to go back to my to the question, excuse me. Obviously, you can't just toggle a switch and suddenly there's no more crime. But I can assure you, one of our main policies will be a fair pay and tax balance, where we will be encouraging increasing incentives for law enforcement and departments in game to be doing their jobs, but also for the civilians of Ottawa, because there's no reason that a poor young boy should have to turn to robbing RBC to make a living. Thank you.
All right. Before we move on directly to our next question, I'll just say like after like now, if anyone wants to like give any responses or anything to any of the other candidates, if not, we can just continue.
Yes, I need to state a response.
Okay. You'll have 45 seconds. Go.
Okay. Venom Isaac, Prime Minister of Venom's party. We did not state that we should abolish guns from City of Ottawa. We believe firearms are a right for citizens' protections. However, illegal trades and illegal guns shall be tracked down. We stand for registered firearms, not firearms that is not even registered and not even from our local seller, GOC, Gun Owners of Canada. That is what we have in mind. We do not have in mind to do crazy gun control, because that sounds like an idea straight out of America. Thank you very much.
All right. Would anyone else like to, or before I continue, make sure when you're gonna speak, claim the podium, so that way Thorough can focus on you on the live stream. Does anyone else have any last things on this question before we move on? Learn good?
Yeah, so I wanted
45
to I wanted to comment on Venom's point because I feel like he does have slight of a point that I could agree on, which is like, obviously not all people within Ottawa would want to do crime. Some people all do want to be law-abiding citizens, and that's also where the ownable businesses that the PPC was talking about would come into play, and that's where also some quality of life updates would come into effect. So maybe increasing the job payouts for civilian jobs like the tanker jobs, garbage jobs. Obviously, those types of civilian jobs that are already in game should have like an increase in game, because currently the only one that's here is just that actually like pays well is Garda, and for that it's kind of like you're kind of risking your life, and it's kind of the only way you can get money in this game without having to do crime.
All right.
Thank you for repeating my point, LearnJed.
All right. Am I gonna be able to move on now, or does anyone else have anything last things to say?
Let's move on.
All right. Second question. Let me pull it up. I switched out to do that. All right. Next question. All right. Before I get to this question, let me say this was written before yesterday, so it doesn't have anything to do with yesterday. I swear. All right. Nobody get on my case. How do you plan to increase transparency and increase trust from the general public and government and just across the government of Canada as a whole? Whoever claims it first can go. Venom, did you just claim it or was that before?
Yep.
Okay, you're good. You have 60 seconds on the clock.
So obviously, transparency within Ottawa has been a big issue, as we've seen with some certain documents and portraits of Sabrina Carpenter. I think first and foremost, the VBS is here for the average person within Ottawa, that working man. And as part of that, we know first and foremost that transparency is a must. Obviously, there shouldn't be any sort of things happening involving civilians and a tower. But we are here to advocate for a clear and transparent government where we have oversight for departments that allow the average citizen to be able to know what's going on with their departments within their community, and that way they truly know that the departments are there for them and not out for their own gain. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Venom. I'll remove you from the current speaker. Whoever claims it next may speak on the issue. Are you guys able to claim or no? All right, Britannic, you've claimed it. Britannic, would you like me to repeat the question?
No, it's okay.
All right.
Okay, so to build public trust, we need to focus on genuine transparency. This means we'll immediately establish an independent, publicly accessible audit committee to investigate all government agency scandals due to recent issues with departments. I will not say names out of respect. We'll also implement a whistleblower protection guarantee, ensuring that any public servant who exposes the wrongdoing is shielded from reprisal. The goal is to show, not just tell, Canadians that their government is accountable. That's all I got.
All right. Thank you, Britannic. I'll remove you from being the current speaker. Whoever claims next can take over. All right. Vike has claimed. Would you like me to repeat the question, or are you good to go?
I believe I am good to go.
All right.
Thank you
You
very much.
will have 60 seconds on the clock starting now.
I believe that through collaboration with news outlets and government agencies, we can push for information about each department to be publicly accessible. I believe that every man and woman in the city of Ottawa deserves to know the truth, and no public agency deserves to hide their actions. We strongly oppose the actions of CSIS, both in Operation Mockingbird Part 2 and the Tower incident, quote unquote. We stand strongly against corruption and combating that starts with full transparency. That is all. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Vike. And lastly is LearnGed. Would you like me to repeat, or are you good to go?
Yeah, repeat the question.
Yeah, okay, I'll repeat the question. And then after I'm done with the question, you'll have 60 seconds to respond. Let me pull
Yes.
it up. All right. How do you plan to increase transparency and trust with the general public and the government of Canada? You have 60 seconds on the clock starting now.
So with a lot of discussion about transparency and trust, one of the major things I would want to implement is just generally some democratic practices. For example, if we're going to do any sort of big change, whether within a department or in general, we would like to make a poll with multiple options and just gauge like, the interest with it and then implement which gets the most majority input. Furthermore, we would want to be very transparent about any actions and that happen, any wrongdoings that would happen. Would make some sort of announcement, maybe make some sort of like public relations department or ministry, and just have in general connections with all these departments, news apps, and have official discussions with the public regarding how we should move on from this and how we could reform together as a community, as a nation, to not have this occur again. And I think that's one of our guiding principles is connecting as a community and then moving forwards and reforming ourselves. And that's it.
I don't think the guy who caused a mutiny can talk about reform.
I don't think the guy who teamed up with terrorists on CSIS can talk either.
That's a
All right,
legend.
guys. All right, guys. Let's calm down. Would anyone else like to take the podium before we move on? You can go, and I'm gonna. Anyone? Or am I good
A
to?
quick point for the viewers, if I may.
Yeah, you'll
Just
have
so that
45
everyone
seconds.
knows, we do wear red, but that's because we have Trip. I can promise that we are not a communist party or a mafia. We just are very trippy. Thank you.
Thank you, Venom. Are we clear to move on, or would anyone else like to say anything on the subject matter before we move on? Finally. All right, I'll take that as a yes to continue on. All right, let me get the next question. All right, this is not in this is not referring to within the past week, month, or even year. This is general, like over the past few years in this community. How do you feel about the militarization of the city of Ottawa? Do you think, or do you believe anything needs to be done about this matter? Whoever claims first may go. Learn, did you just claim it, or is that from before?
Yes, I did.
All right, you'll have 60 seconds on the clock, starting now.
So this would probably be referenced. Actually, this will be referenced in the document that I'm writing, which hopefully should be released soon. But in general, our stance is that we've been way too militarized in the city of Ottawa for anybody's good. It shouldn't be that one day you can go outside and get food, and the next day you have to be locked inside with your liberties removed because martial law or a city deployment is ongoing with no actual reason. That should not be happening in any sort of democratic or civilized society. This is why we feel like the people should be empowered by us, the government, to hold ourselves accountable, to hold the military accountable, because that shouldn't be a regular thing that's happening, where everyone's advised to stay inside, that the military is doing a checkpoint, that they cannot move around freely. That is not something that should be happening at all, and is something that should be looked into further, and how to more restrict the army about that, the Canadian Armed Forces, and so maybe downscaling themselves, downscaling regulation. And that's our stance about that.
All right. Thank you. I'll remove you. Whoever's next to claim may speak on the subject matter. Anyone claim? All right, Venom, would you like me to repeat the
Since
question?
the candidates don't want to go, I will. So I will say first and foremost that under the Venom Bloodline Syndicate, terrorism will have no place in Ottawa. We promise that we will rise to whatever threat is posed against the city and its people, but at the same time, our primary focus is on the safety and security of the citizens of Ottawa. Obviously, the Canadian Armed Forces is a really big part of Ottawa and the player base, and I'm all for having a strong, supported Canadian Armed Forces to know that we are safe and secure and that our service members are well taken care of. However, we need to make sure that we're holding the Canadian Armed Forces, the military police, other subdivisions accountable to ensure that they're safe in their actions and effective without infringing on the civil liberties of the working class within Ottawa. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'll remove you from the current speaker. Whoever's the next to claim may answer. All right, Vike, would you like me to repeat the question? If not, you will have 60 seconds to respond.
Thank you very much. I do not need to repeat the question. I'll go directly into it. I believe that the militarization of Ottawa is through continued failures in combating serious organized crime by all policing agencies, particularly the RCMP. The fact that CAF needs to be deployed domestically to target organized crime speaks volume about the state of our nation. I firmly believe that combating the militarization of our beloved city starts with the first targeting the rampant organized crime. This, of course, doesn't come without its negatives. Without the deployments into Ottawa by CAF, its members may lose interest and begin to discharge from our armed forces. To counter this, we would like to establish connections with 4G militaries, including deployments, training operations, and peacekeeping missions. That is all. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. And finally, I believe Britannic, you're the last one. Would you like me to repeat the question, or would you like me?
That's okay.
Excuse me.
Oh,
Can I talk to the canvas real quick?
yeah.
Is there anything wrong with you? Because I mean, I've been listening at your like that voice you do, like the sound. Is that something that may impact your thinking?
you
I
asking
don't
me?
know how to explain this, but like, is everything okay? Yeah, I am. Because
Me?
whenever you whenever you end the sentence, yes, whenever you end the sentence, you
Yeah,
make a weird
so
you make a weird sound.
I am currently suffering from my virus, we can just say, and I'm fighting against it, but it will affect my speaking. But I'm trying my best to focus on delivering the information I'm told.
Oh yeah, I understand. I just don't want anyone don't want anyone to be like hurt during the debate, because that's not very great for us. I want everyone
Understood.
to be in their best ability. Yeah,
Yes,
thank
I
you.
understand. I think I can handle it though. Thank you.
Okay. We were at Britannic. Would you like me to repeat the question since we got interrupted there?
Sure.
All right. How do you feel about the militarization of the city of Ottawa? Do you believe anything needs to be done? You will have 60 seconds to respond starting now.
The militarization of our capital is obviously a serious concern. While it brings huge activity to the community, it does also have a drawback. Our Canadian Armed Forces and the glorious Israeli Defense Forces are obviously essential for national defense. Their role is not to patrol our streets. A constant military presence can erode public trust and make citizens feel less safe, and obviously drive away activity from, so-called terrors and maybe even normal citizens. My administration would ensure the military's focus remains on proper mandate, defending our sovereignty and the wall, while also providing local law enforcement with the tools and equipment that they need to serve and protect our beautiful communities of Ottawa. Ottawa must remain a symbol of democracy, not a show of force. Hope you all understand. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Now, before we move on, would anyone like to give a rebuttal or any follow-up comments, or are we free to continue? I'll take that as a sign to continue with the next question, which is, what will you do to assist in departments that struggle to maintain activity and loyal membership among their ranks? No offense to these guys, it's the truth. You see less of them on than something like GAF or RCMP, like OFS or CSC. Whoever is the first to claim can go. Learn GED. You have
So
60 seconds.
this is a major point in the document that I'm writing, is that for way too long, a department like OFS has not been updated. Every single time they've been updated, it's been generally really bad, not completed, or removed like a day later. Unlike these departments like CSIS and CAF, which have been updated consistently, even without our knowledge sometimes or without expecting it, they've just been updated so regularly. In RCMP, recently they've gotten some huge quality of life updates like shields, and I mean mostly shields, but that shield was really pretty good update in terms of combat. But OFS has been stagnated. All right, it has not been given really anything to work with. We have requested multiple times from OFS High Command, for some sort of update. And we haven't really given it. If anything, we've actually lost a vehicle. We've lost the utility truck that we had back in the day, and now we have one less vehicle because of it. And so that's one of our points, is that we would give, underserved departments more attention. Would give them more updates, and this would hopefully increase updates in them, and increase loyalty within it. For example, we've been promised a medical update for a long time. It has never arrived, though. It actually went from being worked on to back end planning on the development Trello, and that's something that the community management has kept going back on their word about. That's all.
All right. Thank you. I'll remove Learn GED from being the current speaker. Whoever claims next may answer. Anybody?
I'll go next.
All right. You have 60
Sorry?
seconds if you don't want me to repeat the question. Sorry, I had someone come in.
Yeah, so obviously at the end of the day, all of the departments in Ottawa are crucial. Despite, maybe CAF being one of the bigger ones, we do need every department to function, even those that don't get as much attention. And so I've actually talked about this issue within my cabinet, that part of our policy, if elected, will be to coordinate with the developers of CRC, but also the department command, and be able to advocate for departments such as maybe OFS or CSC, departments that don't get as much attention as maybe some of the bigger ones, but still need their needs fulfilled. Within my cabinet, I bring people with years of real life and CRC experience who know what these departments need to run and are able to have effective discussion with department leadership to be able to be there for them as well. Obviously, the government is there for the people, but also for the people trying to run the departments too. It's for every person. So within our cabinet, we will be advocating as much as we can to community ownership and developers to be able to get them what they need so that they can function. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll remove Venom from being the current speaker. Next to claim is you guys can claim either one. All right, Vike, you're the next one to claim. Would you like me to repeat the question? If not, you may answer and have 60 seconds.
Good. All right. So This issue starts with the simple fact that Ottawa revolves around combat and policing, more so than firefighting or paramedic work. I believe that this can be tackled by pushing for increased funding towards these quote-unquote lacking departments to ensure that all agencies are given a fair shot at prosperity in Ottawa. I believe that through incentivization of these departments by issuing awards such as paychecks or simply community recognition to these amazing workers in our capital who risk their lives for us every single day. Finally, these departments, most notably the OFS, have been neglected in terms of development for far too long, as what Learned stated, and we will be advocating to development for further updates towards these departments. That is all. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Thank you. And finally, we have Britannic. Would you like me to repeat the question?
Yes, please.
All right. Let me pull it up. All right, here we go. What will you do to assist in departments that struggle to maintain activity and loyal membership among their ranks, such as OFS and CSC? You have 60 seconds on the clock to answer the question, starting now.
Yeah, so to improve it, in all honesty, they have a huge lack of development interest, which is a huge problem that I see, as each department deserves just as much attention. Our plan is straightforward. I'll closely speak to the development team to invest and modernize their equipment and facilities. By making these improvements, we can bring in new talent, and maybe even the people who dislike these departments will give them a second chance and really realize that there is more to the community than just CAF. Myself will also look into that. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And like before we continue, does anyone have any rebuttals or quick comments before we continue? Learn Ged, you'll have 45 seconds on the clock starting now.
All right, so this is something I forgot to say earlier, but like the update that CAF has been getting actually did directly negatively affect OFS, like in the duties of their work. For example, when the barrier trailer became a mandatory part to put down barriers, OFS is not able to place down barriers anymore. I don't understand how development could, be so blindsided to not even check if other departments' barriers worked before implementing it directly into the public servers. Because now we can't even roleplay half our function, which is like road control during fires. That's like half the duties of lieutenants and captains is to do scene control, and we can't even do that properly. It's only recently that now OFS can pick up fire extinguishers from their own station. It's only recently that the ladder truck got fixed after like 3 months of being broken. And so I think it's a serious issue that even though these things go reported, community management does not really look at them as deeply as they should. The tickets stayed there just unanswered. And so that's something I forgot to mention earlier.
All right. Does anyone else have anything to say before we move on to our next question?
I do. I'm just a bit confused on my fellow candidate, Mr. LearnJed's point over there, representing the FMLN, I believe. But when asked about the question, I'm just a little confused. It was about the departments who struggle with activity. But so far, I've only heard the deputy chief of OFS complaining about OFS and not about what they're going to do for the multiple departments that need help, such as CSC.
All right, thank you, LearnGed, or anyone else. Would you like to respond? Okay,
Nothing to
LearnGed.
say. All right.
You have another 45 seconds starting now, Learn.
So the reason I talked more about OFS because obviously, I am more invested personally in OFS, right? I know what's happening within my department. I know what it needs. I'm not going to be here and talk about the needs of a department that, I'm not fully sure about, I don't know what is currently happening with the CSIS internally. Maybe you do, Venom, because you were a part of CSIS, you headed it for a big time. Maybe you do know more about it, Maybe I should, maybe afterwards I'll talk with Pixel, who obviously knows more about CSIS, regarding activity, internal things. Maybe I'll talk to Britt Bobby, who knows more about correctionals. But I'm not going to stay here and state claims that may or may not be true because I am ignorant of the facts. I'm only here to say facts, not speculate and not give plans that may be false or may be true. I'm here to state the facts that I am currently in possession of and that I know could actually benefit the community. So honestly, yes, I should do more research, but on short notice, I can't really do that at the moment.
All right, thank you. I'll remove you from the current speaker. Does anyone else have anything to say?
I'm not sure where CSIS came from up in that, but I can say that the Venom Bloodline Syndicate has already been working on gathering the opinions from department heads. I was just talking with Commissioner Britt Bobby the other day about CSC and what we can do to help them out. Obviously, as a candidate, we can't know everything a specific department needs if we're not involved with that. But I think the easy fix to that is by having a cabinet who's invested in department. I have a very good cabinet elect here for the Minister of Health, who's very invested in that. Very close Minister of Public Safety, who's very invested in that department, who is able to adequately know what maybe they need more, and then be able to talk with department command. Even though we're not elected yet, obviously we can still talk with them. There's nothing stopping me, from talking with Commissioner Britt Bobby about CSC and how it's underrepresented as a department. I think it's definitely issues that are very easily overcome if you're there for the people and are putting in effort to benefit all the departments. Thank you.
All right. Now are we ready, or does anyone else have anything to say? Going once, going twice. I'm gonna take that as a sign to move on to our last question from me for today, which these were made before yesterday. So obviously, as we know now, there's cabinet, and we know what positions are in the cabinet as they got implemented by the development team. But besides from these already pre-existing ones, are there any specific offices, councils, committees, or other similar bodies that you plan to establish under your office to benefit the greater good of Canada? Any of you are free to answer first. All right, Venom, you have 60 seconds on the clock to answer.
Yeah, I was actually just talking with Ashley about this. Obviously, my party is pretty big. We do have a lot of members who come from different backgrounds who are able to benefit Ottawa. And we were trying to figure out, since there's so many ministers' positions, which ones will be included in game. And then I saw the list today that were added in. However, under my administration, we will have representation for ministers that maybe won't be in game or recognized formally as the cabinet. I do have a very good friend of mine who is a member of the Cree Nation, who will be representing our Crown Indian affairs, even though that won't be recognized in game. But then I also have people from different backgrounds, people, from South America, Brazil. I have a French Canadian here too, who drives a Prius, who I'll make sure that we use all these people who have joined the VBS to be able to make sure everyone's represented, even for the ministers that development isn't adding in game. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'll remove you from the current speaker, and then whoever claims next can proceed. One of you three claim, please. All right, Vike, you've claimed. Would you like me to repeat the question? You're muted, by the way.
Excuse me. You could go ahead and repeat the question.
All right. Okay. What offices, councils, committees, or other similar bodies would you plan to establish under your office to benefit the greater good of Canada? You'll have 60 seconds on the clock to answer the question, starting now.
Right. So we begin with the public safety. We plan to establish a new department, quote unquote, Public Safety Canada, of Canada, of course, if you want to be more correct. As mentioned earlier, this will be a unified body compiling of the CSIS, PPS, RCMP, and CSC, and will exist as a joint task force for better policing of our wonderful capital city. Secondly, we plan to establish a functioning parliament system that could potentially be used to pass laws and more. This will help us establish a representative democracy in Ottawa. So for parliament, for greater laws and efficient and proper registration, and for public safety, good coordination and efficiency between law enforcement agencies. That is it. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. All right. I'll remove you from the current speaker. All right. One of the remaining two, you can claim the podium to speak next. All right, Britannic, you have claimed the podium. Would you like me to repeat the question?
Yes, please.
All right. What offices, councils, committees, or similar bodies would you plan to establish under your office to benefit the greater good of Canada? You have 60 seconds to respond to the question, starting now.
Shalom. My administration will immediately establish 2 new bodies to serve the greater good of Ottawa. First, I will create the Office of Fiscal Accountability. This is an independent office. Will be tasked with scrutinizing government spending to eliminate waste and inefficiency between departments. Our goal is simple: to ensure every taxpayer dollar is spent wisely and effectively for the benefit of all Canadians and Israelis. I will also be making a super bank of Ottawa on the new island. Second, I will establish the Office of Canadian and Israeli Innovation and Investment. This body will have a singular focus to make Canada and Israel a global leader in the industries of tomorrow, with direct support from Benjamin Netanyahu. It will act as a direct link between our top innovators and entrepreneurs and sources of capital. Its purpose is to fast-track funding of strategic partnerships for the Canadian and Israeli startups and businesses with a high growth potential, ensuring that the next great innovations and positions are created right here at home. Toda rabba. Thank you.
Thank you. Our last electoral candidate to answer the question is Learn Get. Would you like me to repeat the question?
No.
All right. Can you claim the podium for throwing
yeah.
the pan on you? Yeah, thank you. All right. You'll have 60 seconds to respond to the question, starting now.
So because the update kind of came very unexpectedly, at least for me, and I wasn't really expecting to run for PM. I haven't really set up anything officially, but we do have some plans. For example, I think most definitely we should have some sort of community engagement and just something to hold transparency with the community and our administration, as well as just community management, There should be some bodies in place, like something to help services with the public. Maybe something with helping increase worker pay, just in general, and just a lot of these types of specific things that we need. But otherwise, no, we don't have necessarily anything planned. But we would want the community to give us suggestions, because we want to hear from the people who actually are here every day, who've seen good, bads, come from all walks of life, what they would want, as part of our administration.
All right. Thank you. Before we conclude this section of the debate, does anybody else have any final rebuttals or remarks regarding this subject matter?
Yeah,
I
I
will-
do.
Okay. All right. You'll
I'm
have
just
45 seconds. Sorry. You'll have 45 seconds starting now.
sorry, I'm just a little concerned about Mr. Britannic next to me representing the Israeli People Alliance. I'm just kind of concerned about this. It seems every question that's been asked, the answer has just been about supporting Israel and doing joint things with Israel. I'm
That's not
just
true.
concerned here. For someone who's so in bed with Israel, are you actually here for the Canadian people, or are you just here to be a puppet leader for the IDF?
That's not true. Israel is a great friend of Canada, and I here represent Canada and Israel, but more Canada.
And what's Israel doing for us?
Israel is doing a lot.
Like?
Helping with funding, defense, public safety.
So you've been given money
innovation.
by Israel, is what you're saying.
That is not true. I did not
I
say
don't
that.
know how the Canadian people can vote for this. You just said they give you funding.
I feel you are anti-Semitic.
I feel you aren't for the Canadian people.
There has
We
been
need
no
people
further
in
here
charge who are
for the
actually
Canadian
Israeli
here
people.
government
to
has
help
funded
Canadian
any
citizens,
types of
not to
projects
just be
within the
here as
Canadian
a puppet
government.
leader for
Anti-Semite.
another country.
Canadian people need Israel's help.
All right.
Ottawa's state is horrendous currently.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, that's interesting. But does anyone else have anything? Or are we good to move on? That was okay. Our next section is questions, miscellaneous questions. I don't know, they're dark. They're for everyone from the audience and the viewers. Anzak, are we letting them up here, or is that gonna end badly?
No, let them up here, and let them up here, and just have if they start like doing stupid shit, just kick them from the stage. Just have like your mouse on the kick button.
All right, I could bring them up for you. I'll pick people.
All right, guys, be civil and don't say
Yeah, thank you.
any of those words. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. All right, I'm gonna bring up Game Tester first. Give me a second. Oh, am I not an admin? I'm not an admin. Oof. Lab, you gotta bring him up.
Okay. All right, I invited Game Tester. He's the first one to do
Yeah,
it. All right.
I'll give Lee. I'll give Lee the.
Mhm.
Oh, all right. Hello.
I'll scroll real quick so you can do it for you.
Right. Thank you for picking me. I got a question for Vike and PPC's party, because I know what Real Win wants. I have proof. Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, here you go.
I don't know. I can't share my screen. Oh well. But I have some pretty. How do you say? I got some pretty questionable stuff that came out of Real Win's mouth. Let me post them in general.
Uh-oh.
There's actually multiple pictures.
I could bring it up onto my stream if you need.
If we can have Thorough do it as well, I'm unsure if he's able to do that
Yeah.
in a time.
Yeah, don't put it on YouTube if it's inappropriate.
Yeah, well, I'll look.
It's not inappropriate.
Okay.
Oh, good.
But anyways,
Hmm.
the important text is at the third last message in the first picture, which is elitist government, which is a pretty vague thing to say, but this could mean that he wants to form an oligarchy. And since there isn't a constitution that prevents stuff to happen, you know, because Sink is a little bit stupid and inconsiderate, he can do this. And I don't think he would be a great candidate for democracy and the Canadian people. Right, on the second picture, you can clearly see him asking me, do you like freedom? And I jokingly said, no, I hate freedom. And then he said, check your DMs then. And if I actually go to my DMs right now, go to Real, he has invited me to the party. Let me actually get a photo of that and post it. So anyways, that concludes my quote-unquote question. Drag me down now. I said what I wanted to say since
make sure
like,
you're not.
a couple of days ago.
Sorry for interrupting. Make sure you're not. Make sure you're not idle in game because it kicks you. Just did for me. Just walk around a little bit.
Okay, I'll give
Yeah.
Vike,
if you want to answer, like, or respond to whatever
yes,
he said.
I am willing to answer. do I have a time to answer this question, or?
Not necessarily.
I'll be lenient. Just don't bring it
Oh my
past
God.
like 2 minutes.
All right. Thank you for the question, Game Test. I understand your concern about these images right here, but the images is taken out of context and is propaganda used to blame us for hate. This was a quote-unquote joke between friends, and in no way represents
so.
my party or our views. For you to state that anything I use, or this is by the way spoken on behalf of Ruin, for you to state that anything I say becomes a promise to the Canadian people is unreasonable. You jokingly said no, and I jokingly said check your DMs. I am an advocate for freedom in the city of Ottawa, and jokes should not be taken in the wrong way. I seek to do nothing but benefit the people of our lovely nation. Now, as we can see clearly here, things taken out of context is the backbone of propaganda, and things said against a certain party that you believe is wrong. And I understand that you want to bring this up. I fully understand it, but taking things out of context is not ideal and relevant for debates. Thank you very much.
The Loudspeaker of Canada has not been able to find further proof proving that PPC is supports this.
So naturally, you don't really like do jokes if you are representing your party right now, like in the situation. So I don't think he jokingly said, check your DMs then to my, thingy. Like it just doesn't make any sense. It's not a good look, and his intentions are clear as day.
I understand what you mean. However, from my experience, I know that Real is a joking around person. He likes joking around sometimes because it gives a positive vibe to everybody around. And That's simply a lie. Game Tester and I have spoken. By the way, this is also on behalf of Ruben. That's simply a lie. Game Tester and I have spoken on multiple occasions as we are in several servers together, and I would consider us to be friends. Now, I don't know so much about between you two, but as I said, from my experience, I know that real win is that of a person sometimes.
Okay.
Right.
Is there anything else, or are we gonna continue?
Well, from me or
Either like I want you guys to talk, but we got like a line and we got like other preset questions. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't have anything else to add or say, so
All right. Well, thank you for coming up here and voicing your concerns.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Sure
it's
thing.
very useful. We thank you very much.
Thank you
All
for
right.
exposing this scandal.
All right.
How do you put him in the audience? Oh, here, I found it. Nice. All right. Next up, we have I think it's Venom Finn, the military man. Thank you for your service. Come up, man.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your support. I have a question for Isaac. Isaac, how do you respond to the accusations that you promiscuous, or to be exact, 199.99 on your Venom's Bloodline Discord lounge?
Yeah, thank you for that question, concerned citizen. I'd like to come out first and foremost and say that is just completely false. It is fake propaganda used against me, and that if a server product like that did exist, it would be due to someone whose name rhymes with Finn.
If I may
making it
respond
happen.
with evidence.
No, I think you've had enough time.
If
up
I
on here.
may respond with
Can we
evidence.
move this guy back to the audience?
No,
Is this evidence inappropriate?
Absolutely not.
appropriate, yeah, okay.
I have censored
not
what
doing
needed
this
to be
then.
censored.
I
But it is
don't know if
completely
we can show this.
appropriate. It is completely
Send it to my
appropriate
DMs
for
first, and
I will
look
send
at
it to your DMs.
Yeah, he'll screen it.
Can I have someone in general on standby just in case he posts some SLW? Thank you.
Okay,
Someone
I'm not,
not
bro. That's just a
preferably.
picture. It's like I'm not sending that. Get off the stage, man. You can't kick this guy off.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
let's
I'm
move
bringing
on.
a Sud for
Yeah,
TF.
yeah. No. Okay, whatever, bro. All right, it's okay.
Hey,
All right.
so I got multiple questions. I'm a little bit concerned about the anti-Semitism coming from the Venom Party. I'm just looking through the server, and there's somebody saying that they hate Jews. Who would kiss a Jew? Don't think I forgot
Wow.
about those Jews. This is just anti-Semitic. I'm really concerned as a Jewish Native American citizen.
Yeah, obviously. Well, first and foremost, what people say in an affiliated Discord does not reflect my views personally or that of the party. Obviously, we love and support all people.
Besides
but
Jews, though.
No, we support Jews. However, unlike Britannic, we're here for the Canadian people, not to be a puppet government for them.
Ridiculous. False allegation. I'm here for the Canadian people.
That's not true. You're here for Israel.
That is not true.
And then you being anti-Semitic, what would you do about our native indigenous Canadian population? They're very underrepresented, very oppressed. No casinos, no museums. It's just very disheartening and sad to see.
I brought this up, like I said in one of the earlier questions, although the dev support only has a certain number of cabinet positions in game, one of my additional positions that I will be having within my party is our Minister of Crown Indigenous Relations, staffed by a man from the Cree tribe, who will be representing our native people and ensuring that they are spoken for, that we have a casino in Ottawa, and that their rights are being protected.
So you would go forward then to recognize the Pequot tribe of Ledyard, Connecticut, right?
I can't personally speak on anything like that. I would have to refer you to my Minister of Crown Indigenous Relations there, because
Oh,
he's
okay, very
a
good. The
true
Pequots,
subject
they're
matter expert.
very important people.
All right, I think that's
All right. Thank you. Thank you,
thank
Seb,
you for
confirming.
answering.
All right.
Thank you.
Wait. Let me. Okay. Let's go in order. We're gonna bring Pug the King next.
Pug the King up, yeah.
All right, Pug, you've been invited.
For my candidates, make sure you're claiming your spots when you speak.
Oh, Blanca's up.
Blanc has made his way up. All right,
Yeah,
he'll
I
go
got
then.
invited. Right, I have 3 questions. They're short. The first question is a 2-part question. Will donations to Israel be tax deductible? And what will you do to ensure that Israel stays safe?
I'm guessing that's for me.
It's for everyone.
All right, go left to right, and we'll see how that goes.
Whoever wants to answer first, just go. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, just anyone talk, please.
So we're going left to right. Donations to any sort of charity will be tax deductible, but donations to foreign governments or extremist groups will be taxed.
I just have a question as the moderator. What's like designated as an extremist group?
An extremist group is that which seeks to harm our very way of life as good Canadian citizens.
Are you trying to imply that Israel is trying to harm our way of life?
No, I didn't call Israel a extremist group. I called them a foreign government. Israel is not alone. Any donation to a foreign government is will be taxed. I believe Brit's next.
Yeah, they won't be getting taxed.
Okay.
They'll be getting the full amount.
Am I supposed to say something?
I mean, you don't have to. I mean,
don't have
I don't
to.
really care for this section,
Talk
but if you
about,
want to, you can.
Well, we have nothing really to do with Israel. We just care about Canada. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Right. And personally, I kind of share the same belief with Mike, but I do want to add that I do believe in the separation between church and state. And even though it's a nation, not necessarily religion, we should be focusing on Canada now. And if you are going to donate to any sort of charity or any sort of government, I guess that would be tax deductible because that is your right. I guess you can support whoever you want. We're not gonna do much about it because as we're trying to empower the people. You have the free choice to do and support who you want. And so yeah, that's kind of just our point. We're not gonna make any statements personally, but if you support something, support it. But we're not gonna hinder you in that.
I'm a bit confused. I mean, I know we're all politicians up here, but I didn't hear a clear yes or no from the PPC on if they will or will not.
You also didn't answer the question.
I very clearly said donations to governments, foreign governments, will be taxed.
And what will you do to ensure the safety and security of Israel?
I mean, to be quite clear, that's not my problem. I'm here for the safety and security of Canadian citizens. Israel has their own government to decide their own laws and be responsible for their own safety and security. At the end of the day, I'm focused on the safety and security of Canada and our Canadian citizens, not those overseas.
Is this wraps for this question?
Can I speak on the safety of Israel?
If you want to.
So
Yeah.
obviously, yeah. So obviously, the Canadian Armed Forces and the Israeli Defense Forces are very, very close allies, and we will obviously give them military aid if requested by Israel, as we must support our allies in order for them to support us. Thank you.
All right.
Okay. Blanc, do you have anything else to ask these guys?
Yeah. Will you promise to bring back dueling as a legitimate form of conflict resolution?
Hmm. Anyone?
We're going to left to right again. I personally am in favor of that. I do think it's something worth looking into. Obviously, before the VBS passes any sort of law regarding that, we'll have to consult with my Minister of Public Safety, Minister of Health, and other relevant ministers and department command personnel. But I personally am in favor of exploring being able to create a law around that to resolve conflict.
Hello, Jake.
Could you repeat the question? I don't think I heard you.
All right. Will dueling be allowed as a form of conflict resolution?
Yes.
My turn.
Yeah.
As a Democratic Party, we will vote on it
Yeah.
and get the public's opinion. Thank you.
We are absolutely in favor of combat as a form of conflict resolution. This, of course, will come with the requirement that both parties are fully consensual and not pressured to agree in any way. That's what I had to say.
Okay.
I think I would just have the same opinion as my the person here, Blackfire. Just, I think there would be just some exception to the law. Say someone is, mentally unstable, they're not in the right mind. That they're not in the right mind to make the decision, or they're underage, or anything like that. Some sort of exceptions to those rules. And it obviously would be voted on by the people. If they wanted it, they'll get it. But otherwise, no.
All right. Any more questions, Blanc?
Yeah, this one's for PPC.
Okay.
Why do you hate Jews?
Public hazard. Thank you for coming up with that questions. We do not hate Jews at all. As from Real Win, I don't see how stating that I was shot by a pro-Israel party in any way means that I am anti-Semite. I do not have any prejudice against Jewish people. But the thing is, this party, ISA, is a pro-Israel party. That's a fact. It is a pro-Israel party because they literally mentioned that they are for Israel in the party. And that is what he mentioned. You are really taking it out of context and bending the truth. And I understand if you might be taking up information in a wrongful way. And no, trust me, I know how that feels. But we do not state anything of hate against certain groups. We simply just state the facts of the party that targeted us.
Alright, I'm gonna have to,
Well, the party didn't target us, but a follower of ISA, and that is what happened. Thank you very much.
Listen, don't spread conspiracy theories. You did say that
Can I speak on
the
this?
pro-Israel party
Yeah.
shot you, which just blatantly
Yeah, so there was a statement made that alleged that PPC blames all the problems on Jews because it's they're an easy scapegoat. And Rilwin followed that up with a statement saying that he was just stating the facts. So quite clearly full of shit.
Is that the end of that?
Certainly,
I
we do
yield.
not want to blame it on the religious group at all. We just we just want to state who exactly shot us, and it was a follower of ICA, according
When
to
was that? When was that confirmed?
authorities.
That isn't true.
So why is the moderator coming after a candidate? Shouldn't you be neutral?
Because he's stating lies. No one ever came forward. There's no
Don't call that a
official
lie. You're
RCMP
supposed to be
no
neutral.
official RCMP statement. I'm just a fact checker. You
Is
can't
the
just
Venom
say
Bloodline Syndicate's official stance that fact checking is unfair?
No, we fully support fact checking. I was waiting to hear his facts. It sounded more like personal opinion to me.
He was calling out facts.
All right, should we just get rid of this this Israel talk bit for now and move on with the next guy? Everyone agree with
I
that?
think that's enough of this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes,
All
thank
right.
you very
Well,
much.
Bring it
Yeah.
to
thank you,
yeah.
Block, and thank you, PPC. We're gonna who's next? 9X. Go
Okay,
ahead.
shalom. Shalom, shalom. I have a couple questions for some candidates. Okay,
Here we go.
so for
Shalom.
Venom, you have been caught before. No, wait, wrong question. Hold on. Venom, you said you want safety and security of Canada and its citizens, yet when you were employed in CSIS, you were caught meeting and doing terrorism with a declared group known as SSNP. Upon evidence being released, you denied everything. How do you plan to be transparent after a major situation like this was leaked?
I believe the major situation you're referring to was like 5 years ago.
No, it was
and
a year or two ago, and you were high rank in CSIS.
it was multiple years ago.
I believe he's
but
referring to Oakley's.
yeah, that would have
Jason.
that incident was multiple years ago. And at the end of the day, that was a department approved operation. There was no sort of ill will or
Okay, I object. How can
malice.
CSIS allow a
is in
movement
court.
of terrorism on team? I mean, not on team, but on civilian. I mean, you are quite
A
literally
simple
representing
question:
CSIS.
how would a CSIS agent gain intel if they never went undercover into any sort of terrorist groups?
No, you were in the car with them, shooting people, shooting innocent civilians, while representing CSIS. How
I
do
would
you?
like to see proof of that.
You fled to CSIS after.
I'd like to see proof.
I
But to go
mean,
back to your main point, yes, my focus is on Canada and ensuring the safety and security, and that is something that I have been a strong advocate for over the last year.
the proof of you meeting with SSNP is it's in general right now. What's your statement on this? Because you can clearly see.
I'm looking at the picture, and I've made the statement already. How do you expect CSIS agents to gather intel if they don't go undercover?
But
There
how
was
can you
no
go
sort
undercover if
of
SSNP is aware that you are on CSIS? Wouldn't that remove the full like reason of undercover if they know that you're CSIS?
it's actually reverse psychology. It's a very enhanced intelligence technique.
Can you explain it?
I don't have the time on the air now to respect the other candidates, but it is a intelligence technique.
How can it be an intelligence technique when SSNP is aware you are on CSIS? I mean, it's quite obvious you
It's
were
a
just
really
there for the terrorism.
complex
No, let me speak. Wait, I'm
technique.
speaking right now, so please have some respect for me.
You
So,
interrupted me, so
as you can see in the screenshot, knocked out hard, PLA, gig. James Langley is on the right. These are all like, there's a couple CSIS agents in there. How can you be with SSNP, and how can you remain transparent after this?
yeah. So first off, I'm not affiliated with SSMP at all.
So
but
why did you deploy with them?
If I can talk, I'm still not affiliated with SSMP at all. The things that happened years ago were for the people to gather intelligence as a CSIS operative.
So is
and
shooting at
moving
innocent
forward,
civilians trying to gain
again, there's
intelligence?
no proof of that.
There is proof somewhere.
If you say so. But
I
moving
mean,
forward, I am here for the safety and do promote
Loudspeaker Canada has not been able to find any proof of this.
The governments of Canada, and that's something that the Venom Bloodline Syndicate will be advocating for with our oversight ministers, and look at possibly in the creation of a oversight committee to be able to hold departments accountable.
And how can you hold it accountable when your department was caught doing strange things, and then upon confrontation, you denied everything when the evidence was there? All of this is in the source of a mockingbird. How can we trust you as the prime minister to stay transparent after talking shit on civilians, talking shit on departments, when like in the back there was more stuff to it? And so how can we trust your outside when there is a more deeper inside on you?
Obviously, it can be concerning when things like this come out and are taken out of context. I think it's really important to note that there were multiple CSIS agents involved in that operation. And yes, the intended appearance on the outside is that they're undercover with SSMP, and we gained valuable intelligence to be added within the CSIS archives after that incident that we gained from being able to infiltrate and observe what they're doing. Obviously, I don't want to keep going in circles here, but I think I've already made clear my position on creating oversight and having committees of the people for the people to be able to hold departments accountable and in check. Obviously, that
Okay,
way
that's like
we
the
don't
third time
have.
you said it now. Let me just
Yeah, but
ask
you keep
the next
asking the
question.
same question.
Okay,
so-
wait, let me just speak to the next candidate.
wait. Okay, do you have a different question for someone else?
Yeah. Okay, so for
Okay.
Real Win's campaign, how do you claim to be equal towards everyone when your party leader, Real Win, was found saying that he blames Jews for all wrongdoings with picture proof? He was also found vote buying, which is illegal in Canada. People in game of Ottawa have stated that you are paying people to vote for Real Win. And then I'm pretty sure there is bank logs where you have been caught sending money to people, which are not publicly available, although I'll send the pictures in general right now for the public to see. Yeah, okay, so VKD, we are LARPing right now, so that's just, you're
Yes.
LARPing me as a terrorist. Like, can you please stop spreading false accusations? I'm not a terrorist. I cannot be a terrorist. So what is Vikevire, what is your reply onto the vote buying of Real Win?
Well, it's just I would just say this: it's not true, because as you said, you don't have any evidence on these
No,
vote buyings.
I said there's no evidence of the bank logs as they're not publicly available. You're twisting my words.
Not publicly available. Yeah.
Yeah, the bank
So
logs are not publicly available, but although
is
we
that your
can see
excuse to the evidence?
no, we can see Real Win in game talking about vote buying, and we see his money going down every day by a huge amount.
Do you have pictures
So
of his money from yesterday and today?
there is people in game talking about it. There's people who spoke publicly about it. So
And those people.
okay, the chat logs are getting taken right now. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
That's the thing. It is just not true unless you have all of the evidence and examples to prove this accusation.
I'll allow the evidence, allow Vike to respond, and then I'm gonna cut this I'm gonna cut 9 just to give more people a chance, and I'm gonna put limits.
just right now.
Yeah,
Hold
you
on.
can post it in general.
Let us take a look.
Ooh,
Where are they? Means it in general.
it's right there.
He doesn't pay for votes, so he don't get votes. He don't pay me to vote for. Okay, V Kitty stating that Real Win paid him to vote. Now, V Kitty, I do not know if he's here, but does he have any proof of his DMs where Real Win states that V Kitty should vote for him and he gets paid for it?
Okay, so you can see in the screenshot, Vikity states Real will pay you if you vote him, and then in the
Your
second
evidences.
screenshot, no, listen,
This
in the
evidence is not strong enough.
third screenshot, you can see Vikity says Real pays his voters, so that's good. Real gives us money, and then if you go on the first picture, Realwin admits it by saying soon after Vikity says my weekly vote pay. Realwin admits it by saying soon, clearly showing that he is going to send money soon.
I mean, you missed those 3 dots at the end, which he usually uses when he states jokes. And that, as we stated before, further, when Game Tester came with his concerns, he said that Realwin was, I believe, anti-Semitic or something, or it was something else, I don't know. But basically, Realwin is a joking person, and of course he will play around little like that in public.
I think playing around while you're representing a political
Well, I mean,
campaign, saying
playing
that
around,
you
is
promote
he
the use of vote buying, I don't think that is a good a joke for your campaign,
sure?
considering that vote buying is basically considered bribery in Canada, and it is illegal.
Yes, I understand your concern, but as stated, we are allowed to do that at least when we are in just our normal civilian form and not in
You
a
are allowed to do what?
debate. It is complete lies. Well, Real Win has is in the chat right now, and he states it is complete lies, and it was a response to a different message.
Okay,
So
is there any proof of him responding to a different message? Because in the screenshot you can
just
see
that,
him
Excuse
and
me if I can
Realwin speaking
interrupt.
together.
just as
We
little
have
proof
people
as you
waiting
have.
in line. Can you guys please get on with it? I understand this may be a very delicate question, but we don't want to be here for another hour discussing vote payments. I understand, but just get on with it, please.
Yes,
Okay.
so I think doing this word to word is left and right, just arguing about this won't go anywhere. You don't have so much enough proof to prove that we have done something wrong, and we do not have much proof to claim that, because, as we said, we do not do that. You are taking things out of context.
All right, I'm gonna have to wrap this
Can
up.
we
It
move
does
on?
raise some questions.
Yeah. All right.
Okay,
Hold
can I
on.
ask
Wait.
one
wait,
more
wait.
question for can I ask just
Unrelated.
Yeah,
one?
yeah, okay, hold on. You got 1 minute. Go. No over.
Okay, Britannic. So what is your belief on kissing the wall? Will this be mandatory once you are prime minister?
Mandatory is subjective. I don't think anything should be mandatory. I will be doing it though, out of my own belief and respect. Yeah.
All right. That's all, I guess.
Okay. Bye. Okay. Who's next in line? Also, additionally, moving forward, each of you, whoever comes up and asks questions, you have 2 minutes. All right. We're getting on with this. I'm
Alright,
done
let's have
over and
Pug
over.
speak next.
Yeah. Pug hasn't spoken yet, so he can come.
Alright,
Thank you,
let's have
Pug.
Pug
2 minute.
speak.
Hold
Let's
on.
go.
2 minutes
Oh.
starts now.
Right. The last thing about the vote buying scandal. So there is money logs that Ashley can check to see if you're vote buying. And another way you can confirm or deny that is calling V Kitty up to the stand.
All right,
He's one accused
you
of.
gotta talk about
Yep.
something else. Yeah, just
I'm
Alright,
sorry.
alright, alright.
I thought we're
Stop
here
it.
to ask questions.
just ask questions about something else, please.
Alright.
It's already-
Different speaker.
You wanna go off the stage?
Yeah.
Okay.
A developer of the Canadian
Okay.
roleplay community.
Who's next in
Just
line?
said it right there.
Uh,
A developer
Sud
of the
again.
Royal Canadian
Need
Roleplay
Yeah.
community
requested
has
15
come
minutes
out
ago. Now
forth
getting
and
to.
said that
Sud,
there
you're
are no
invited.
bank transactions showing proof of bribery.
All right, Stefan. All right, Sud, you're back. You have 2 minutes for your question if you still have it.
Oh yeah, no, I low-key forgot.
Okay, well, thank you. I'm gonna move you back then.
Love you too.
Okay. Military man is coming back up. All right, you
Thank
have
you.
2 minutes.
Just a quick question for Isaac. What would your opinion be on introducing government funded and issued goth mommy girls?
Shrunk support.
All right, thank you. That's all.
Okay, we will not be moving forward with that
We
question.
just got a
since we
moderation
got
thing for
speech.
that.
All right. Okay. Now, we'll be bringing V Kitty back up. No, he wanted to speak before. V Kitty, you
Oh,
are
very
invited
good.
back up. Oh, now you're good? Okay. Then, Sud asked to speak again, so I'll invite him. You have 2
Yeah.
minutes,
So,
Sud.
All right.
would any of the candidates be erecting a statue of Colonel William in Ottawa?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, well, but I asked the moderator to stop the audience from asking irrelevant questions like that from now on.
That's not irrelevant. That's very relevant. He is a hero to the Canadian people.
I think you have the wrong
I don't
country.
think
And
he's a hero
do
to
you
the
have any
Canadian
other
people.
question?
Will anybody stop the Russian influence media in Ottawa?
Okay, that's just not true. Okay. Does anyone
Okay,
else
I
want to
also
come up?
have a question. I also have a question, if
Oh,
I may ask. Yes, I would
yes.
like to come up. Well, I am already here. So, how will you guys maintain good news presence? I understand that LOC is kind of controversial and stuff, but as a government, you guys should work with the news, right? So, how do you plan to work with us?
I'll go first since the
Would
other
love to
candidates
provide
are
you.
still scared. I believe that the freedom of press is one of the core values of Canada and our people. I don't think there should be any sort of state censorship or controlled media, and that the government should, in fact, work with them, be able to provide things like a press liaison for the government who can speak about incidents and be able to offer the press an insight into what we're actually doing in the government, and to have a good working press who can also hold us accountable and call us out if we're not doing our jobs right. Pass over to Britt.
Could you repeat the question, Hanzo, please?
How would you work with LOC? How would you maintain a positive news environment and support other news agencies?
I would obviously strongly support a free, independent, and diverse press. Journalism is obviously the backbone of democracy. I support that LOC would keep government agencies accountable, inform citizens like you are doing. I strongly respect that. Yeah, that's mainly it.
Oh, what about you? You learn get.
Yeah, so as I said before, what we were planning is, is like a ministry of PR, like public relations. And by necessity, its job would have to work hand in hand with news agencies like LOC. So obviously, that reflects that, we support freedom of press. If you have opinion, you should be free to express it without censorship of the government or without, misinformation being widespread. And That's just something I feel like should be some like a basic human right. You should be able to speak freely, and that's just our position.
Oh, thank
Pass it
you.
over to Vike.
Poplar?
Yes. Excuse me. As stated in our manifesto, we will push for non-state-owned independent press to be more prominent in the city of Ottawa. For example, the LOC, the hospitable host for this debate, is one of the greatest news outlets in Canada, and it is, in my opinion, very good at remaining politically neutral. By providing more independent outlets the proper channels to broadcast their news, we can ensure that government agencies are held accountable. That's it. Thank you very much.
And that'll be all from me.
All right. Do you all reckon this is time to wrap this up?
Mm-hmm.
I have a
Can I say
question.
one thing real quick?
I have a question too.
Actually, I will allow for closing statements. Yes, we can do that. But is there anyone else in the audience that wants to speak, like, in the next
I
like
have a
minute or
question.
something? Okay, thorough, and then I'll bring up the army man one last time, and that'll be done.
All right, so I actually have two questions. We've been focusing a lot on Israel. Can we see any of the parties possibly working with our other allies, as in Europe or the United States? And why are we so focused on Israel? What have they done to provide benefits to us? This is for everyone.
I guess I'll take the charge again. Obviously, our allies are very important. And for one, I agree with you. All of this focus on Israel has been, frankly, kind of concerning, knowing that some of the other candidates don't actually have Canada at the forefront of their thoughts. But I do plan to work with our allies, especially those within NATO, those over in Europe, as best as we can, and be able to work with them to promote a healthy Canada, to put it plainly. Pass it to Britt.
Am I up? Could you repeat the question again? Sorry, I had some allegations pop up, but I need to address later.
So, why have we been focusing so much on Israel? What have they done to provide to us? And what will you do if you become prime minister to work with our other allies in NATO and beyond?
Yeah, so obviously Israel is a great ally of Canada. We're going to be working very closely with them, from their expertise and funding especially. With other allies, yeah, of course. Wait, 1 second, sorry.
That didn't answer my question, but okay.
Yeah, so no, sorry, some popped up in real life. So other NATO countries, yeah, America, obviously the leader of the forefront of NATO, the United Kingdom, we're going to work very closely. As I have numerous connections in other communities, I can establish joint combat training exercises with our armed forces and other armed forces, ensuring peak condition. Yeah, that's all I got to say.
Vicar
Anyone
Lawrence.
else?
Yeah, I guess I'll speak. So honestly, I personally share the same position as Venom, which is we should be helping our allies like NATO, and like it is kind of concerning how some other candidates have been talking a lot about Israel. It does put into question their affiliation, and like I just agree. We should be focusing on NATO. Helping our allies, strengthening ourselves as well as others. And like I don't know why we've been so politically like charged on this one particular topic.
Yes, can I go now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We personally believe that our allies are our greatest strength. Together we work as a team, yeah? And Israel is not one of them. Instead, we plan on to form trade agreements with the NATO and European Union, as well as potential military alliances and mutual aid agreements. But yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hans, should I keep pulling up people? Or should we just get with the closing?
Yeah, it's the same people like all over.
It's like
No
2
one
hours.
else except for like, let's get to closing.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, Blanc, is your question about Israel or Jews? No? Okay, make it quick.
I just wanted to say that Israel is our greatest ally. Thank you.
Oh,
God fucking damn it.
well,
Why'd you? Oh my lord, we're getting moderator for that.
well,
Could I mention something, please?
sure.
This is for a Vike Fire. About the PPC. If you could answer me, please. Is Lee Francis in line for the Deputy Prime Minister?
Can you repeat that?
Is Lee Francis in line for the Deputy Prime Minister of the PPC?
Yes, he is currently running for the role of Deputy Prime Minister.
Could you check in general? And I'd like to know why the so-called Deputy Prime Minister is calling me a terrorist on these false grounds.
Let's
Such
take a
actions
look.
make me question, is he really fit for that position?
Alright, stated on this very pixelated text right here, Britannic
sorry,
is
let me get
just
it
a
up here.
spy of the Israel forces and a terrorist. He's trying to coup Canada and put in Israel. That's his opinion, of which everyone is entitled to.
Well, as
Isn't
a
it
public,
opinion though?
It may reflect his personal opinion, but not the party's.
But he is the second in command of the party, technically.
Yeah, true,
Making
but
these false
still,
allegations is petty.
you vote for the party, not the deputy prime minister, and not for the prime minister. You vote for the party, an agreement with multiple people, and all of these people may not agree with everything, and that is a thing with a parliament in difference to, for example, a presidential system, which is quite obvious, honestly. But that doesn't reflect our party at all.
Will his actions have consequences for proclaiming me as a terrorist?
If he takes it further and does actions that could be problematic, then we'll have him dealt with in a professional way. Of course, we should.
I see. I'd like to address I am not a spy for the Israel forces and I'm not a terrorist, and I would not coup Canada. Thank you.
all right.
Thank you, Vagvaya.
Okay, well,
Thank you.
All right.
this has been long enough, and as the debate moderator, I'm making the executive decision to move on to the closing statements.
Ignoring Lab's executive decision, I'm just a little
Okay.
curious on
Oh.
Britannic's and Learn's parties. Obviously, VBS being one of the biggest parties, we have a full cabinet, and I believe the CCP or PCC, PPP, whatever, has a full one. I'm just curious on if Britannic and Learn's parties have cabinets in mind, or if they're going to be pulling an orange bear and asking random people in primary to fill the very
No, we
important
do.
spots.
In the
Such
upcoming
as?
week, cabinet members will be positioned out.
All right.
So you
That's
have
enough.
nobody in mind yet.
That's we
I do.
moving on.
I will not stir
Just
names
orange?
though.
We're moving on.
Yeah, for time's sake, we're probably going to get this right on the dot at 2 hours. We're going to do closing statements. They're going to be exactly 60 seconds. If I interrupt you and cut you off, I'm sorry. There's no rebuttal, No response. This is your final say. We're just gonna go left to right for simplicity and time's sake, yeah. So, Venom, give us your closing statement. 60 seconds starting now.
Claim your podium.
Can we go right to left? Because that was the first one to go.
Actually, yeah, sure. I'm sorry, LearnGed, you have to go first.
Claim your
Please
podium.
claim the, yeah.
All right, so Canadian citizens, y hispanohablantes, I am here for you. I'm here to empower you. All right, we need to stop the oppressive government that has been raging for too long. All right, we need equality in updates. We need quality of life. We need activity, and we need to save our core function of the community. The medical system outdated. We've talked. The management has talked about it, community management, and they've never done anything to fix it. I will lead the charge in fixing our core gameplay. I will lead the charge into fixing the activity. If you want to empower yourselves, the citizens of Ottawa, the citizens of Canada, vote for FMLN because your opinions will be put in our decision making. You will have the power to have your input said and acknowledged, and we will acknowledge you. So vote for FMLN, pretty much.
All right, thank you. Moving on next, we got Vike. Deliver your closing statement. 60 seconds on
Yes,
the clock.
thank you, the audience, and thank you to the LOC for your hospitality of letting us host this debate. We plan on standing our ground regarding our beliefs and continue to seek for a fully functioning parliament in the city of Ottawa. Thank you all for listening today, and we will continue to serve the people's interest as best as we can. Vote PPC, People's Party of Canada, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Next, Britannica, please deliver your closing statement. You have 60 seconds on the clock, starting now.
Shabbat Shalom. I thank you all today for listening and taking time out of your day to appear today. I hope you all take into account my words and my promised actions. The Israeli-Canadian alliance will make your life better. We will make Ottawa and Canada a stronger nation. We will lead the charge in the forefront. The Indigenous people of Canada will be heard. Thank you. Thank you all. Todovavat.
All right, thank you. And finally, Venom Isaac, please deliver your closing statement. You will have 60 seconds on the clock, starting now.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot I could say for a closing statement, but I won't chat GPT, and I'll just give very quick. You can go vote now, vote Venom. We will be releasing our manifesto today if you'd like to look at that and view all of our specific policies and cabinet members. But thank you, LOC, and the audience for the questions, even if some of them were questionable. But yeah, polls are open. Make sure you go vote, get your I voted sticker, and vote Venom for the people.
All right, well, thank you folks for coming out to the first debate. I know it was a rough one, you know, we're still figuring out how exactly to do all this. Next time the timing will definitely be better. Probably next time aim for 90 minutes rather than 120. It's a little overboard. Yeah, definitely go vote. Definitely stay educated on who you're gonna vote for. And yeah, we thank you for tuning in, and we hope you have a great rest of your days. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That was 2 hours. Holy, I was so close to just yelling in the stream. Stop. Oh my lord. Pixel happen. Yeah, the stream was dying towards the end. Like I can't do much. Like it started like crashing and stuff. Like genuinely. That's alright. It's alright. So I was in the game. We were all in the game. Yeah. And this. Yeah. I don't know why Lean was streaming it because Onzuk was like, let's get all these views and let's get everyone to watch only through the stream, and then Lean streams it. I'm like, bruh. So then fucking half the VC was streaming, was just watching from there.